I remember when we spoke like about the specific junior artist who got hired at um, uh, the creators of Baldur's Gate, and even though it was completely different style, you mentioned that the sole reason, or like the biggest reason, except for like general design skills and those things, was like the ability, or like their ability to make designs applicable for a 3D model in a game, and make it applicable and easy for them as well. And as you mentioned a lot of times, repetitively, that our sole mission, or like our sole mission, is to make the life of the 3D artist easier.
And I will still repeat myself about that a lot.
Yeah, yeah. So I was just wondering, like, if there are any like tips regarding how I can like remind myself like those main aspects that make it simple for the 3D modelers to make a model without like overlapping, or all those things.
Yep, that's something I'm currently working on. I would like to make it as a video. I already showed the pipeline video. It was in the preparatory course. I think if you have not watched it, go watch it, because I know I added it on the way as you were waiting for December's class to start. But this one is already solving a lot of problems. I would like to make a video or probably a webinar where I do a lot of case studies of those different things. And for example, let me share my screen. What sparked that idea is a LinkedIn post that I did recently, and the way people reacted to that, that really surprised me. That post that went very big, like almost 1,000 likes. And one of the first thing is the information on that first sheet is incredible. I love the structure and how it's assigning the different methods. Definitely making note of that. It's that picture from Sung, a former mentee. And something like that is so freaking valuable in a portfolio. Because what kind of problem do you solve right there? You solve being able to model the character because you have a turnaround. You solve all the patterns, and provided you export them as like an SVG file or any kind of vector file, you can import them directly in Substance Painter. And also, despite it being a bit clunky right now, and I know we did a clown pass eventually to color the different bits of armor to simplify the thing. Right now, if you follow the instruction and you look at the references, you know exactly how to texture everything without having to render it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when you are thinking about what kind of problem am I trying to solve, just think about the full pipeline all the time. It needs to be kind of similar to the question we're asking ourselves when designing, like the what, the where, the who, etc. It's like, okay, the gameplay, how do I show it? The storytelling and the writing, how do I show it? The 3D team, how can they model it easier without having to guess? Then the texturing team, how they can texture the thing without having to guess. Then the VFX, if there are any, how can they do the VFX without having to guess? The rigging team, if there is any need for rigging, am I sure there is no collision? It's really just you pick every division that is going to happen before and after you, and you just ask yourself, okay, what would be required to either translate properly what has been done before me, or to help people after me transpose my design into their job. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
That's definitely a webinar we can do eventually to talk a bit more about that, and just a lot of case study overall. But overall, if you just think about that pipeline, it will be good.